Hello, and welcome to another RANGROO's Unit of the Week. And today, we are taking a look at the American Comvat. Okay, now before we actually get into the history of this unit, I just want to say that this was a pain in the ass to find any information about. There were two websites that I tried going to. Both of them required you to either register or pay a donation fee to actually gain the information. And I love you guys, but I don't love you guys that much where I want to sell out a bit of money to find out anything about this AFE. Luckily, we did get saved. A Reddit commenter called Sandy106 managed to post some information on the Comvat in an old archive thread in our wargame. So all the information I'm about to tell you pretty much comes from this one Reddit comment. So it may not be 100% accuracy, yada yada. But yeah, thank you Sandy106, because you pretty much just saved the history of this video. So the Comvat was a prototype vehicle during the United States. I would want to say in the 80s or 90s, don't quote me on that. But the whole point was to give it its big ass gun, the Comvat gun, which stands for Combat Vehicle Armament Technology. Not exactly a fancy acronym. But anyway, the whole point of the Comvat is that it used a lighter cartridge, a lighter cell, which would have all the fancy gunpowder in it, which would propel itself. So I think it's caseless ammunition. Once again, don't quote me on that. So anyway, it's a lighter cell, so the Comvat can carry more ammunition. There are multiple different millimeter sizes of the Comvat. The first one being 30mm, and then they tried a 45mm run, which is the run that we see in game, and eventually even went up to 60 bloody millimeters. And apart from that, there's nothing really too much to say. The Comvat really just stands for the gun on top of a Bradley. In game, the Comvat is a 30-point American armoured fighting vehicle underneath the vehicle tab. It has one weapon, that being the Comvat, a 45mm autocannon with range of ground of 1,900 meters, helicopters of 1,500 meters, accuracy is 70%, 40% while on the move, 5 AP power, 1 HE, and a rate of fire of 204 rounds a minute. Overall, this is a fantastic autocannon pretty much. Very long range, the same range of a light anti-tank gun, insane accuracy at 70%. That is not to be underestimated, especially with an autocannon. This thing will hit most of its shot, and also it has 5 AP power. Now 5 AP may not seem an awful lot, but remember it's an autocannon, it's shooting multiple rounds very fast, so it doesn't have to do a one-shot kill like other standard cannons. And also, it's a kinetic energy weapon, so the closer you get to target, the more AP it does. So at roughly 1,000 meters, I'd say the Comvat would do 13 to 15 armor penetration a hit, which is not to be laughed at. That is a lot of damage. And if we just take a look at its miscellaneous stats, it has 2 frontal armor, 2 on the side, 1 on back and 1 up top, standard 10 HP, medium size, poor optics, 65 km an hour off-road, 110 km on a road, poor stealth, and a pretty good autonomy of 480 km. This unit can be brought in motorized, support, armoured and mechanised decks, year restriction of 1985, and this is also a prototype vehicle, so you can only get this vehicle in either American decks or NORAD decks. In battle, the Comvat is an absolutely fantastic vehicle, with a range of 1,900 meters against ground targets, 70% accuracy, 5 armor penetration damage. That is fantastic for an autocannon of this caliber. It has a lot of ammunition as well, so you never usually have to resupply his vehicle. You can just keep shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting, you kind of get the idea. But yeah, the cannon, very good against infantry, lightly armoured infantry carriers, lightly armoured tanks at closer range, and heck, even medium armoured tanks, so you're going to have to get quite close for the armour penetration to do its thing. But yeah, the Comvat, a very nice unit on the flanks, and as sort of a auxiliary unit to support your main battle tanks, help clear out towns, shoot down helicopters at closer range. It's nice. I kind of recommend getting this in a lot of your American and NORAD decks, because it's a king of the autocannons. Let's be honest here, this is probably one of the best autocannons in game. The Mortar 2 may be slightly better, I think, but the Comvat, just bloody fantastic. If you need stuff dead, lightly armoured stuff that is, you get a Comvat because it can do it at far range, with high accuracy, and a lot of damage to boot. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the Comvat. Get it, yeah, a lot of fun to use, a little bit weird looking, but a 45mm autocannon is bound to ruin someone's day. And well, that's all I have time for. This has been another RANGROO's Unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.